Chocolate. Whenever you hear this term, what did you see? I see relaxation, mood buster. It is an item for love. But do you know this thing that the chocolate is byproduct of cocoa? And right now, cocoa production is in danger. Hello and welcome to the InFocus series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about the production of cocoa is declining and what are the reasons. And this session is important for your GES 3 perspective. So moving towards the points of discussion part. So first of all, we are going to discuss the news, then we'll have an overview of cocoa production, then we are going to discuss about the study methodology, then we are going to discuss about that what are the findings of the study, and then why there will be a shift in cocoa production, what are the challenges, and what conclusion we have derived from this whole discussion, and then we are going to discuss practice question for prelims. Before that, you have to like, share and subscribe to this TIAS channel. Moving towards the news part. So, before moving to the news part, we have Drishti IAS Noida address and our address is C171/2 Block A Sector 15 Noida Uttar Pradesh and nearest metro station is Noida Sector 15. And we have ISGS Foundation courses available in both the medium, Hindi medium and English medium. These are the details of the English medium and Hindi medium. So if you want to enroll into such classes, you can call on to the number 87501. So coming to the news part. So there is a report and there is a journal. In that journal there is a report and the journal name is Agricultural and Forest Meteorology. In that journal, what we have found that there will be a significant decline in cocoa production. Also, by 2050, there will be 50% decline in cocoa production. So, this news which we are going to cover up in today's session, and which area will be affected most. So, it is the African region, especially the West and Central Africa will be affected the most because these are the areas which produces largest amount of the cocoa and almost world 70% of the cocoa production is happening in this area. So moving towards the discussion part. So the discussion is that we'll have an overview of the overall cocoa production. So West and Central Africa produces over 70% of the world's cocoa. And which are the major area who produces cocoa? So we have Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria and Cameroon. And Ivory Coast and Ghana contribute over 60% of the global production. And we have got through a study. And what are the study methodology we have? We had already discussed the journal name. So research period is, in the past we had taken the period of 1980 to 2010. And for the future, we have taken the period of 2030 to 2060. So we have taken account of the 30 years in the past and into the futures. And conducted using 𝐾𝐨𝐲 model and which simulates cocoa growth under different climatic conditions. So what 𝐾𝐨𝐲 model is about? So it overviews that how cocoa can be grown with a different climatic condition and in different areas. So this is about the 𝐾𝐨𝐲 model and analyzed warming effects, precipitation changes and CO2 impact. Because of the climate change, the weather of all over the world is changing. So into different kind of circumstances, how cocoa production will be impacted, we are going to study through the 𝐾𝐨𝐲 model. So coming to the another discussion part. So this discussion is about that what are the key findings of this particular study. So the finding is that there will be 50% reduction in suitable cocoa growing areas by 2040. And which area will be mostly affected? It is the West Africa and northern regions of Ivory Coast and Ghana will face a 12% yield reduction. Nigeria and Cameroon will see 10% and 2% reductions respectively. And some regions may become more suitable for cocoa farming due to shifting climate condition and shift in cocoa production. So cocoa production may shift from Ghana and Ivory Coast to Nigeria and Cameroon. And what are the potential risks? So we have a potential risk of deforestation because of the climate change. So deforestation in Cameroon as cocoa farming expands into forested areas. So these are the key findings. So key finding is that might be we will lose 50% of the cocoa producing regions, and there will be the shifting area. It means that other areas, suppose that Ivory Coast was the area, Ghana was the area, so there will be the shift because of the climatic change. But the good part is that they had also find out that might be there will be some new area. So remember, we have always thought this kind of thing, that if one area has become redundant in production, so we try to find out another area. But for climate change and for deforestation, it is not good. And for the country which produces largest amount of the cocoa, because their economy and livelihood is related to the cocoa production, so that is not good for that country people. So coming to the next one, which is about the challenges and uncertainties. So we do have some challenges. Need to balance cocoa adaptation with forest conservation. Uncertain impact of CO2 levels may help offset drought and heat effects. Future studies required on pests, diseases, and effects on flowering and fruiting. So the study told us that there are different impacts into the cocoa production because of the climatic change, because of deforestation, because of the changing rain pattern. There will be a significant impact on the flowering and fruiting of the plants. Also, these are the areas which mostly belongs to the African continent, and Africa has this issue with R&D, research and development. So because their economy is not that rich, and we have to take care of the research and development so that we can try out new techniques and new methods in the cocoa production, and we can save the production, because so many livelihoods are attached with it, and it is a very big market. So it is not just the chocolate, the other things are also related to the cocoa, which is highly valuable into the world market. So we need to be very serious into this approach, and also we need to try to find out a sustainable method so that we can sustain our farming. And the developing countries must help these regions to what you can say, save cocoa producing regions, so that there will be no deforestation, and so that they can save themselves from the climatic change impact. So is an appeal from the developed countries to invest in R&D of these cocoa producing regions and help all these countries, so that their farming could be saved and our economy will be also saved. So now we'll come to the practice question for prelims. Consider the following statement regarding cocoa production in West and Central Africa. Ivory Coast and Ghana together produce over 60% of the world's cocoa. Climate change is expected to make all cocoa growing areas more suitable for production. Which of the statement given above is are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So you can answer into the comment section. And what would be the conclusion of this whole discussion? The conclusion of this whole discussion is that we often been ignorant to the African regions, and we do not know their potential of the producing various important food products. So we must take care of the African regions, and there are various intergovernmental meetings, there are G20 summits, and so many things are happening. But there is hardly discussion on such kind of things. So we must discuss, and when we are discussing about the impact of climate change, we should always have a separate column for the cocoa production, and we should definitely help these countries so that we can save each plants and the people who are associated with such kind of the farmings. For a prelims examination, there can be a question that which areas are the largest producer of the cocoa. So this can be very important for a prelims examination. Thank you. Have a nice day.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.